Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're continuing our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. You know, a lot of times people will call us up with topics which seem to overlap. In other words, as unique as the problem may be to a particular individual, I suppose there might well be a certain comfort in knowing that a lot of people might have the same concerns. Recently we received a concern about someone who's worried about the fact that they believe that their husband throughout the marriage has had secret accounts, whatever that may mean. It could mean accounts, I suppose, money in a safety deposit box. It could be money in an account that he knows about but she doesn't. It could be money that's shipped abroad and maybe in the name of a relative, so really hard to trace that, and she's concerned about it. She's concerned about it because if the divorce divides up the known property and that's not included, what's going to happen? Will she be able to benefit from that property? Will her husband get a huge advantage by having 100% of this secreted property? So there's a couple issues that you've got to look at on this. Number one, if a person believes that their spouse is hiding money, or let's say they're involved in a lot of cash and they don't declare the cash and they stow the cash somewhere and all that, to some degree the law is not going to be overly sympathetic to that situation, because odds are that during the marriage both parties benefited from that money equally. That money was available. That money was in the household. So the husband may have said he makes $50,000 a year, but yet there was $500,000 in available assets to support a lifestyle. So on the one hand, the person who has lived impoverished for many years is going to be much more sympathetic with respect to hidden assets than someone who's had the benefit of those assets all these years. That's number one. Number two, you got to look at it from how it's hidden. If the asset is hidden in that, let's say the spouse doesn't know where it is, the husband hasn't told her, but it's in brokerage accounts somewhere and she doesn't know, good lawyers will be able to find this out. The major brokerages can be subpoenaed for accounts in the person's name. Record searches can be done. Tax returns can be combed for that information. So there's all sorts of ways of doing it if that's what's going on. However, if money is being taken, handed to a relative who lives abroad in a foreign country, it's not anywhere recorded. It's not in an account somewhere. It's under somebody's mattress in India or in Syria or God knows where. In that situation, lawyers are not magicians. They're not going to be able to just snap their fingers and all of a sudden the money appears. You're going to have to tell the lawyer some notion, some clues where it might be. And believe me, if it's in some country that the court doesn't have relationship with and there's no jurisdiction over the people in that country, you're going to have a very, very hard time, A, convincing the court that the money exists, and B, getting a piece of it, and of course C, even if the court orders that you get a piece of it, collecting that piece. It's going to be very, very difficult. What you may need to do is start collecting evidence beforehand that traces where that money is. Some evidence, some trail, some bank account, some notion. You've got to tell your lawyer something, because it's not about, people always say, well, a good lawyer can find that out. No, he can't. A good lawyer is not a magician. A good lawyer is not going to send subpoenas to every known financial institution in the world to see if there's an account somewhere. And even if there is, it's not going to be in the guy's name. He would have put it in someone else's name. A needle in a haystack is not the kind of thing that you can hope that somehow your lawyer is going to be able to figure that out. You're going to need to have real clues that show the lawyer somewhere, give him something to go on where he might well be able to find this for you. And if you cannot do that, then you can expect that that money will not likely be part of the settlement, because the court is not going to know what it is. It's not going to know how much it is. It's not going to know what to order about that. Now, having said that, if it comes to light later on, after the divorce, if you can establish that the other side is benefiting from money that was not disclosed in the divorce, things can be reopened to address that asset. But you have to be mindful of the very, very difficult burden of proof you're going to have before the court undertakes such a drastic maneuver. If you have any questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.